you like to make art? It's a question that I have asked a lot of people thanks to this talk, and a question that I think can tell a lot about a person. See, when I ask this question, after the initial attitude is gone, people are like, no, Ashni, I don't like to make art. And I'm like, okay, well, why do you not like to make art? And they're like, it just stresses me out, and it doesn't come naturally, and I don't know, I can't do it. Not liking something and feeling like you can't do something are two very, very different things. So why do people feel like they can't do art? That question goes so much deeper than just art. It's about how you view the process of learning and failure. Your perspective on art is something that's the result of your experiences growing up, and those are different for everybody. Now, a lot of the time, people will try and make excuses. They'll be like, oh, I never got into art because there was a lack of exposure. I wasn't exposed to it enough. But to be honest with you, that literally cannot be the case, because art is all around us. I mean, look at the way this room is set up right now. Look at how I'm dressed. Look at how you're dressed. What song did you listen to this morning? How's your phone designed? What about your car, your house? Art everywhere. And it's in everybody. So if lack of exposure isn't the reason why people feel like they can't do art, then what is? Fear of failure. Art is one of those things that forces you to fail. You never have it. You're constantly learning. And to be honest with you, we don't like that. We look at the process of learning and failing as something that's scary, rather than something that's beautiful. But why do we do that? Why do we do that to ourselves? It makes life so much more complicated than it needs to be. But why? Let me take you back a little bit in your own memories. Think of one of the first times you actually sat down to do art. It's pretty ironic how you were probably literally trying to color inside of lines. Coloring inside of lines is the literal opposite of what I'm trying to talk about. And if your hand went out for even a second, all your time, all your effort, all your energy, all your excitement, all that creativity, gone. Not only is what you were creating considered a failure, but you are too. And how old were you at this point? 4? 5? And this is one of so many experiences. I'm sure they're coming at you now. Of course, we think of the process of learning and failing like that. We've been raised to. But what we don't realize is that that sticks with us. And for some of us, it means never having experienced a creative outlet. And what that means is that you haven't experienced a lot of growth. And when I say growth, it's important to note that I mean two different things. See, important, again, you can't have art without emotion. So the growth that you'd experience, of course, it is in your artistic abilities, but a big part of it is in your emotional abilities. The ability to process emotions, the ability to feel emotions. Creating art isn't about the end product. It's about the creative process. It's about the feeling. It's about the emotion. It's about the drive. It's about you in the moment. Art is like a time capsule. What you create in this moment is something that will literally never be replicated again. It's the coolest thing on earth. You can't even replicate it, but you have it. And once you've overcome that initial doubt, and I know it's hard, once you overcome feeling like art is out of reach or feeling like you can't do it, you will see that you can use it as a tool, not only to help you process your emotions, not only to help you have a better view of yourself, but it'll change your perspective on the world. I have some examples here of artworks that I made. Take a wild guess which one was in grade 9. Yeah, but the point of having these up here for you is for you to see the difference. I'm talking about coloring outside of the lines. Look how focused I was on lines. Look how focused I was on perfection. I thought I knew what the creative process was about, but I had no idea. In the other artwork, which I made this year, you know the term like happy mistakes? That entire piece is just a bunch of happy mistakes, but I was okay with that. Something that grade 9 me couldn't have even begun to understand. I was okay with that. I was okay with messing up. I wasn't scared of mistakes. What are mistakes? I thought of it like this. Okay, I'm going to put what I'm feeling on this paper, so how can there be any mistakes? Do you ever feel the emotion bursting off of an artwork? That happens because artists, you, put emotion into the artworks in the first place. You're just feeling someone else's process. And that, as a concept, is exactly how art can be used as a tool to help you process your emotions. At this point, you're probably sitting there going, okay, Ashni, that's great and all. How exactly is this benefiting me right now? And my answer to that is really simple. The change in your mindset that you may experience through art isn't limited to just art. For me, it was overcoming perfectionism. I didn't just overcome perfectionism when I sat down to draw. I overcame it in so many other aspects of my life, and you can too. And perfectionism is just one of the many, many, many lessons that you will learn. But you have to put yourself in that position to learn and to fail in the first place. When it comes to the other benefit that you'll get out of all of this, again, it's that ability to use art as a tool to help you in your emotions. When it comes to emotions in art, I have 3 words for you. The creative process. Now, I know I said that before, and again, you're probably sitting here like, okay, what does that mean? So instead of talking about it, I want to show you. Imagine this, and if you know me well, it's not going to be very hard to imagine. I wake up in the morning, bad mood. Come to school, okay, little things are starting to bother me. I feel like I'm a volcano on the verge of erupting, right? I know we've all been there. Right there, now I have 2 options for my day. My first option, I'm going to keep suppressing these emotions. I'm going to try and tough it out. Probably going to lash out on someone at some point. Going to go home, try and sleep it off. These emotions never get dealt with, and they're going to come back for me later. My other option, okay, I'm definitely feeling a type of way right now. Let me go to the art room. See what I can do. So I go to the art room, I walk in, blank piece of paper. I'm searching for something that embodies how I'm feeling. So I pick up a piece of charcoal, dark, raw, like my emotions right now. I go over to this paper, and it's really simple. All I'm going to do is represent exactly what I'm feeling. So I walk over, and I'm literally scribbling on it, because that's what I feel. The creative process is about taking something raw and turning it into something complete. There's something that I like to call a parallel process. Like I said earlier, you can't have art without emotions. So when you work on an artwork, you're working on yourself. Because what did I start off with? What did those scribbles represent? That's how I'm feeling. So when I have to mold that into turning it into something complete, I'm not just dealing with scribbles anymore. I'm dealing with my emotions. I'm dealing with myself. That is how art is a tool. And there's so many different layers. You have to think. You have to sit there and think about that scribble. You have to sit there and think about how you're going to turn it into something beautiful. What do I need to add? What am I taking away? Where do I need balance? Where do I need emphasis? Am I lacking composition, proportion? What am I just going to leave? What's just okay to be there? And at some point, You're going to take a step back from that canvas, that paper, whatever it is for you, and look at it and say, okay, I'm done. I'm done isn't just about the art anymore. Because when you put yourself on that canvas, when you start by dealing with your emotions, when you express yourself and allow yourself to do that, it's a completely different game. Whatever you were going through, whatever you were feeling has been processed, and you're done with it now. You've left it on the canvas. And leaving it on the canvas is so much better than trying to suppress your emotions or just sleeping it off. I'm talking to you about all of this, and I needed to bring this up because, like all of you, I'm still on that journey of processing emotions and learning why and how. Why is it important? Like, these are questions that came up for me this year. And I didn't realize how beautiful of a tool art could be until I actually had to sit down and think about it. I'll be honest with you, it's not going to be easy. It's never easy. Getting over that doubt, that initial fear is a challenge. But you can do it, so stick with it. And I know you can do it because I have done it. Art is a tool created by us for us. So use it. Don't be afraid to color outside of the lines. In fact, in my opinion, you should just ditch the lines altogether because art is not about perfection. It's about expression. And just as there's no right or wrong way to feel, there is no right or wrong way to create. Thank you.